Govinda. Mandalakaram Vyaktam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Jangamam Vyaktam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Bhavachi Vyapi Yat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarvashruti Shiroratna Virajita Padam Bujaha Vedantam Buja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha Bindunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidahine Atmajnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shoshanam Bhava Sindosha Jnapanam Sara Sampadaha Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapaha Tattvajnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Radhira Nadisha Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Gurudev Gurudev Gurudev, Gurudev.
Satyarupam Shri Gurudev, Shri Vishwananda Sadgurudev.
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 Sundararupam Nama Gurudev, Sachidananda Jaya Gurudev.
Sundararupam Mama Gurudev, Sachidananda Jaya Gurudev.
Sundararupam Mama Gurudev, Sachidananda Jaya Gurudev.
Sundararupam Mama Gurudev, Sachidananda Jaya Gurudev.
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 Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev, Shishaya Namaha, Om Vishamaya Namaha, Om Devakarya Samudyataya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Chinmayaya Namaha, Om Gurumurtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraya Namaha, Om Sulochanaya Namaha, Om Sumukhaya Namaha, Om Charvasaya Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Padmambujaya Namaha, Om Mandagamanaya Namaha, Om Charumbaradharine Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, Om Mandirastapakaya Namaha, Om Shirivachakaya Namaha, Om Gayatri Ajvane Namaha, Om Alpanasvikarakaya Namaha, Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namaha, Om Namo Narayana Yeti Mantrupasakaya Namaha, Om Swaramayaya Namaha, Om Madhurakantaya Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtana Lulupaya Namaha, Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha, Om Mitabashine Namaha, Om Vagmine Namaha, Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namaha, Om Vratadharaya Namaha, Om Sadave Namaha, Om Jagatpantaya Namaha, Om Sarvalokahitaya Namaha, Om Bhakta Priyaya Namaha, Om Surdaya Namaha, Om Anukulaya Namaha, Om Neyaya Namaha, Om Sudarshanaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Shubhekshanaya Namaha, Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha, Om Swastidayakaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om Anugrahaya Namaha, Om Vardhanaya Namaha, Om Architaya Namaha, Om Arthaya Namaha, Om Siddhipradaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Manoharaya Namaha, Om Akshaya Namaha, Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha, Om Vasmabhushitaya Namaha, Om Atmalingaya Namaha, Om Lingachana Prosakaya Namaha, Om Siddhisadanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Amkaropasakaya Namaha, Om Sukshmaya Namaha, Om Vishokaya Namaha, Om Satvikaya Namaha, Om Samadarshine Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Achintyaya Namaha, Om Niramkaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Chitakrodhaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Svavashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasandaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhura Svabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasannatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaya Namaha, Om Samyaya Namaha, Om Guyaya Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaya Namaha, Om Gaviraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Yutidaraya Namaha, Om Dhanyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharna Margadarshakaya Namaha, Om Kutasya Jagartakaya Namaha, Om Abhiprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikata Bhavardakaya Namaha, Om Devavatar Shri Vishwananda Swamine Namaha. Ato Deva Avantuno Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pridivya Saptadhamamihi Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Treta Nidale Padam Samu Namasya Pagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Ada Abhyaha Tato Dharmani Dharmene Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Yato Vritani Paspashe Indrasya Yujasaka Tat Vishnu Paramam Paragum Sada Pashyanti Suryaha Dive Vachakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagravadum Sasamindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Premavattaraya vidmahe Sadguru Devaya dhimai Tanno Vishwananda prachodayate. Om Premavattaraya vidmahe Sadguru Devaya dhimai Tanno Vishwananda prachodayate. Om Premavattaraya vidmahe Sadguru Devaya dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda prachodayate.
Govinda.
Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvighram Kuru Me Deva Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat.
Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Kaita Bhare Narayana Shuta Trivikrama Chakrapare Daityadi Sarjadhara Shrihara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Supravatam Shri Rukminisha Bhavanasha Hare Murare Radhesha Gopisha Surupa Brahmadi Vanya Shri Dvarakashraya Vaikunta Pate Bhuvanaika Murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Supravatam Ninakrite Kamatarupa Varaha Murte Trivikramaya Guhane Dhruvarama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Supravatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodaram Chadarananda Gadhari Shori Gopa Gopi Jana Samrita Dina Bando Gopi Jana Priyaraye Tava Supravatam Shirandishai Bhujagadi Patalpashai Salbhakta Vilsanadashai Ramangashai Shri Gopa Mama Mrudutalpa Sukhadishai Gopa Vallabharaye Tava Supravatam Shri Kashyapatri Sukhanarada Gautamadi Brahmarshi Sangamadi Sangava Bharatesho Tishtanti Deva Tava Darshana Vanya Heto Gopala Sekharaye Tava Supravatam Mandara Jari Tulasi Dalamalikayahe Malyani Anjali Pute Samudaharanti Tishtanti Tvatpavadadara Dale Munindraha Radha Manomaraye Tava Supravatam Vedatrayam Patati Gautamakana Guyaha Gayanti Sadguna Gano Varada Savargaha Sankirtayanti Tava Nama Kada Visheshaha Shri Naradadi Rishaya Tava Supravatam Govardhano Dharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Suvesha Bhavadi Pota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukminisha Varada Tava Supravatam Shri Vatsachina Sharanagata Parijata Bhaktarti Bhanjana Kripakara Dina Bandho Nityanta Gayati Jana Priya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopa Tadaya Tava Supravatam Padmaksha Padma Mukha Padmadara Prameya Padmalaya Starita Padma Nivasa Shori Padmodbhavati Surasevita Pada Padma Padmadinata Haraye Tava Supravatam Vrindattale Vilanaya Mahendra Vandya Kandarpadarpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupa Chandrananaya Sita Chandana Ligna Deha Govindayala Varaye Tava Supravatam Shri Nandanandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayangadina Navichona Supushpahara Nilam Buddha Susharira Rama Vihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava suprabhatram Shri Vaishtijan Bhavati Satya Suganti Bhadram Shri Mitravinda Divasan Prabhu Putrikadyahe Tishtanti Deya Bhavame Tava Sevanardram Gopi Manapriyare Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Achyutananta Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Munayurna Nishambalanti Rame Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Ahadisham Bhuri Kritan Mahapapam Shri Krishna Gahetukam Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Ahanadi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Satma Sukalpa Vriksha Lakshavruteju Surabira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Samrama Sevyamanam Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamani Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kvamantamaravinda Dalaya Taksham Varavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Tandarpakotika Maniya Vishesha Shobham Govindavadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindavadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasat Vanamalya Vamshi Radhangadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shyamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalindriya Vritrimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitamachyutamanadi Manam Tarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Dulabhamadulabhamatma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayoratapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasti Yad Prapadasinya Vichintya Talve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saura Chayitum Jagadanda Koti Yaschaktirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Dantaha Anantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasateva Sampraprarupa Mahima Sanayana Bhusha Sukte Yameva Nigama Pratite Sluvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Ananda chinmaya rasam pratibhavitavis Tabirya eva nicharupataya kalabhihi Goloka eva nivasatya kilatma bhuto Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Premanjanachurita bhakti vilochanena Santasadeva hirayeshu vilokayanti Yam shama sundaram achintya gunasvarupam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Ramadimurti shukalani yamena tishtan Nanavataram bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna svaya samabhavat paramapumanyo Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadandha koti Kodishvashesha vasudadi vibhuti binam Tat brahmanishkalamanantam ashesha bhutam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Maya hi yasya jagadanda shatani sute Traigunyatat vishaya veda vitayamana Sattva phalam vipara sattva vishura sattvam Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Ananda chinmaya rasatmataya manashu Ya praninam pratipalam svaratam upedya Lila itena bhuvanani jayati jasram Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Golokanam nijadham vitale chatasya Devi mahesha haridhama suteshu teshu Tete prabhavanichaya vihitaschayena Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Shishti sthiti pralaya sagana shanti rekha Chaye vayasya bhuvanani vibarthi durga Ichhanurupam apiyasya chacheshtatesa Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Kshiram yatadadi vikara vishesha yoga Sanjayate nahi tata prithakasti heto Yashyam bhutam api tata samupaiti karyat Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Dilparchireva idashantaramabhyupetya Dilpayate vrivrita etu samana dharma Yastadrigeva icha vishnutaya vibhati Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami.
Yakarana valajale bhajati sma yoga Nindram ananta jagadanda saroma kupaha Adhara shakti mavalamya param svamurtim Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami
Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Yasvekanishvasita kalamatavalamya Jivanti loma bilaja jagadantanatha Vishnur mahansaya yasya kala vishesho Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Bhasvanya Jasma Shakaleshu Nijeshu Tejaha Shriyat Kiyat Prakatayapyapitat Vatatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Vanve Pranama Samaye Sanagadi Raja Dignam Vihantu Mamalastya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Agnir Mahiganganam Ambut Marudishyascha Kalastatatma Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmat Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yakshakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Rajasamasa Suramurti Rashesha Tesha Yasyajnaya Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Dhalmo Thapapa Nichaya Shuddhayashtapamsi Brahmadikita Patagadhavayascha Jivaha Yadatta Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yasvendra Gopamatavendra Mahosva Karma Bandhana Rupa Palabhaja Manatra Noti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Chabhakti Bhajam. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Piti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhave Sanchityatasya Sadishin Tamuna Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Gurudev, good morning. So today's verse is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 11, Verse 16. Na stuvita na nindeta kurvata sadava saduva vadato guna doshabhyam varjita samadrin muni. The translation is, a saintly sage sees with equal vision and therefore is not affected by that which is materially good or bad. Indeed, although he observes others performing good and bad work and speaking properly and improperly, the sage does not praise or criticize anyone. So just to give a little bit of context for this verse, this is a conversation that Lord Krishna is having with Uddhava, his dear friend, devotee. Because Uddhava is asking, after he understands that Krishna's lineage, the Yadu dynasty, is about to be destroyed, and it seems like Krishna is also not long for this world. Okay, that's the context. And he's asking him, why are you going through with this? Krishna's lineage was cursed by Brahmins. And he's asking Krishna, why you, the Supreme Lord, I understand you to be the supreme creator, maintainer of this universe. You could easily undo this. You could easily not have the curse go through, but yet you're doing it. So why is that? I want to understand. I want to know why that is. And Krishna proceeds to say that not only is he allowing it, but actually it's his own will that he's doing it, right? And so this is actually, yesterday I was trying to find a verse. I had some vague topic of what I wanted to talk about. I actually ended up reading, I think, the majority of this section of the Bhagavatam, right, the Uddhava Gita, in this canto. Because there are some super, super nice verses there. And I just couldn't stop reading it. And so I highly recommend going and checking it out. And actually, just this morning, I switched verses because there's so many to choose from. But let me just repeat this one, because again, this is part of this answer that he's giving. Of course, he responds to Uddhava, and they have a whole discourse. But let me just repeat this. He says, a saintly sage sees with equal vision, and therefore is not affected by that which is materially good or bad. Indeed, although he observes others performing good and bad work and speaking properly and improperly, the sage does not praise or criticize anyone. Then he goes on to say, if through meticulous study one becomes expert in reading Vedic literature, but makes no endeavor to fix one's minds on the Supreme Lord, then one's endeavor is certainly like that of a man who works very hard to take care of a cow that gives no milk. In other words, the fruit of one's laborious study of Vedic knowledge will simply be the labor itself. There will be no other tangible result. Then earlier, he also says, sometimes for no apparent reason, one's body is attacked by cruel people or violent animals. At other times and in other places, one will suddenly be offered great respect or worship. One who becomes neither angry when attacked nor satisfied when worshipped is actually intelligent. So besides the fact that I just wanted to read a few of these verses because they're all super nice, there's kind of a theme here, which is equality, equal vision, right? And this is a major theme in all of the Bhagavatam. The story of Hiranyakashipu essentially starts also with this question about the Lord. I've talked about this verse many times if you've ever heard my satsangs before. But it starts by King Parikshit asking, why does it seem like Lord Narayan, who should be equal to all, has no favorite and less favorite? Why does it seem like he has favorites and he has less favorites? Why does it seem like he prefers and gives good things to the Devas, but he dislikes the Asuras and does bad things to the Devas? Why does it seem like that? And Sukadeva Goswami goes on to answer this question with the story of Narsinghadev, right? which is to say, your perception is wrong. Because if you look at the story itself, right, Jaya and Vijaya, we know this whole Leela. And when Nrsingadev incarnates to kill his devotee, if we look at that without knowing any of the context, we think like Parikshit thinks. This guy, he's going super aggressive to kill this guy, this demon. For sure he doesn't like him. But we know that's not the case at all. And actually when Nrsingadev is killing him, it's only his grace and his mercy that Jaya or Vijaya is going back to him, right? And so, another theme in the Bhagavatam along these lines is always emphasized so heavily. We should not be attached to this material existence. So many times it's repeated again and again and again and again. All of our misery and suffering literally stems from this attachment and these desires that we have in this body, in this life, of this material nature, right? This attachment that we have to things, but not only to things, but ourselves, right? And how those things relate to ourselves. And again and again and again, it's repeated. Don't have these attachments. It's false. It's not true. It's completely impermanent. And you are of a substance that is permanent. The reality, the indweller, who you are in reality, is that permanent, infinite Atma, right? I just want to tell you a couple stories, okay, that are related to this. And this idea of not having equal vision, okay? And not having the full understanding of what is real, what is true, and judging, basically. We are all judging constantly, right? But in this verse, it's saying, and in many verses, right? Those who are intelligent and like a saintly sage sees with equal vision and is not affected by that which is materially good or bad, right? These saints, these people, these that we're constantly being reminded to be like, to do like this. For them, we might say something bad happens to them. We might say something good happens to them. Somebody worships them. Somebody attacks them. Somebody insults them. For that saint, for that devotee who is situated in that knowledge, is completely equal. They are not affected by bad. They're not affected by good. And they have this equal vision. So, the first time I was in India, 2015, I had just met Guruji, let's see, maybe 4 or 5 months. I literally just met him, I think maybe 5 months before I was in India with him. So I meet him, 5 months later, I'm in India with him. And at the time, I didn't realize how incredibly rare it is to travel with Guruji alone. So it was just him and I. And 5 months prior to having been in India, I had never even been outside of North America. So the only places I'd ever been were Canada and the United States of America. Then all of a sudden I was in Europe for the first time, the beginning of 2015, and then some months later, I was in India for the first time with this guy that I had just met 5 months earlier. And it was just him and I. And so we flew into Chennai because Guruji had some business to attend there, which I will get to in a moment. And so, first of all, for those of you who have been to India, who are maybe more used to a Western European type of lifestyle and upbringing, was pretty shocking, to say the least. And just having also gone from a complete, I wouldn't even say 180 is like too little, like, I don't know, 720, it just, my life completely flipped, right? From one moment to the next after I met Guruji. If you had asked me 5 months prior to this, if I thought I would be in India with my guru, even if I had any understanding of what a guru was, it wouldn't make any sense. So all of a sudden I'm there, in India. It's super crazy. And I remember we were staying at a hotel, and Swami Parantapa, which I didn't know at the time, I'd never met him, called Guruji, and they're talking on the phone. I remember quite clearly. They're talking on the phone, and Guruji says, he wants to talk to you, and hands me the phone. I have no idea who this is. So, okay, I just put my ear to the phone, like, hello. And this guy basically is, from what I remember, and we laugh about this now, but he basically starts like yelling at me, more or less, like, do you know who you're with right now? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know who you're with? And I had a little bit of knowledge and understanding, and I said, yeah, I think it's Vishnu. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's right. But also, like, so much more, and like, you better be careful. He was kind of just trying to get me to understand and appreciate the situation that I was in. Needless to say, I didn't appreciate his tone, let's say, but it was correct in the fact that I didn't understand, right? This idea of seeing but not understanding the reality of things. So after that, Guruji was kind of very sweet. He was like, what did he say? And was joking about it, and I was like, that guy's crazy, man. Who is that dude? Like, who is this guy? Who is this guy just yelling? I don't even know his name. He's just yelling at me. And Guruji said, don't, just forget him. It's fine. So it turns out that Guruji was in Chennai, and he brought me to Chennai because he had business. His business was with a disciple of Mahavatar Babaji. And we were staying at this hotel, just him and I. Normally he would have been alone for sure, but we were going to Pune after, and we were going to Vrindavan. We were going for Holi. And so he said, I have to go and meet this guy now. I don't even know if I really even understood who Mahavatar Babaji was, or what anything. Super new and fresh. Okay, fine. But you can't come, sorry. I have to go and meet him privately. That's okay. And so I just stayed in the hotel for some hours. Guruji came back, and he said, I asked if he had anything for you, and he materialized this small Lakshmi. Yeah. So a disciple of Mahavatar Babaji materialized a small Lakshmi and said, here, give it to him and tell him, be good. And so the point of this story also is that, and Guruji later confirmed this, right, is that this man, this disciple of Mahavatar Babaji, you would never recognize him in the street, right, as is intentional. Similarly, you will never recognize Mahavatar Babaji if he doesn't want you to recognize him. But the point is that this guy lives in Chennai. I know a little bit about him, just basic things from what Guruji has told me, but he lives in Chennai, and he has some high-level work there, let's say. And nobody even knows who he is. He's not recognized at all, right? So again, it's this this idea of we really don't understand what we're looking at. Similarly, in the same trip, after Chennai, we went to Pune after, then we went to Vrindavan for Holi. I remember trying to get into Vrindavan. It's like completely the most insane thing I'd ever seen in my life, complete chaos. And I remember one of the days taking a rickshaw with Guruji and Swami Sridhar. And Swami Sridhar said, what do you think of Vrindavan? And before I could answer, Guruji looked at me and responded and said, he's looking at Vrindavan with his eyes. He's not seeing yet what is behind that. He's not looking with his heart. And so, he is judging it in that way. And it was true. Right? Because, like most of us, as far as I'm aware, we have this perception of duality, right? This is the point. Whereas a saint, a sage, and not even that, but what we're repeatedly told over and over and over again, things are not bad and good. We assign things as bad and good, clean or unclean, whatever. Beneficial, not beneficial, but we have no idea. Go in there. And it's ironic to me also that this is like one of the first steps. This is one of the things that we're told again and again that we must do. It's essential. We have to stop identifying with this world of duality. It's just like the first thing that you have to do, or is highly essential. And yet it's just like the most difficult thing. And so, this is something that we understand on the spiritual path, right? And it's very, very hard to remember this on a daily basis. It's easy when we can remember it once in a while, when Guruji gives a satsang and mentions it, or we read it in the Bhagavatam. And it's almost, like I said, it's repeated so much, and it's a thing that we should strive for so clearly, to be like this, right? Again, a saintly sage sees with equal vision and is therefore not affected by that which is materially good or bad. Although he observes others performing good and bad work and speaking properly and improperly, the sage does not praise or criticize anyone. That's the second part that I want to talk about also, right? Because all of this judging, this is just judging. And actually the worst thing that we can do, which is confirmed by Guruji, right, is that we judge spiritually. Guruji has said many times, some of the worst people that he knows are spiritual people. This is crazy, right? Why is this crazy? First of all, why does he say that? Because spiritual arrogance is much worse than ignorant arrogance, than material arrogance, okay? When you think that you're better than somebody because you're more spiritual than them, or you're on the right path and they're not on the right path, etc., etc. First of all, it's so hypocritical, because there's so many of these verses that say, exactly like the verse that I chose, right? The sage does not praise or criticize anyone. He does not judge. He sees with equal vision. And so we become attached, like we become attached to everything, to our own spiritual identity. But it's just so silly, because the spiritual identity, if we took it seriously and practiced it seriously, says don't do that. Explicitly, I'm telling you, don't do that again and again and again, but yet we do it. And then we judge others based on that. And so, I mean, Guruji just has mentioned this many times, right? And it's just a reminder for us all, yeah, that he has said specifically, is one thing to be arrogant and to judge. Okay, we do that. Everybody does that. But if you do that and still you judge others because of their spirituality, right? Because you think that you're better than them because of your spirituality, your beliefs, etc. This is particularly detrimental. Because in the end, all of this is very much impermanent. And there's one other verse, don't know how much it's related, but maybe we can make it related, that I wanted to read because it's cool. So this is in the chapter, the previous chapter. And Krishna says, in all the planetary systems, from the heavenly to the hellish, and for all of the great demigods who live for 1,000 yuga cycles, there is fear of me in my form of time. Even Brahma, who possesses the supreme lifespan of, I had to look this up, 311 quadrillion years, is also afraid of me. Quadrillion is the number after a trillion. So 300 quadrillion years is also afraid of the Lord in the form of time. I remember asking Guruji once, I've told this story several times, but I asked him once in a particular moment of, like, there's different moments with Guruji, right? When you spend enough time with him, sometimes he's in a silly mood, sometimes he's in a serious mood, sometimes he's in a don't bother me mood. Sometimes, if you're lucky, he's in a mood where he'll answer some more deeper questions that you have. And so I think he was in this kind of mood where it was like he's very mystical, so I can describe it. So we're having a conversation and I asked Guruji, what does time mean for you? What is time to you? And he just looked at me and smiled, or a grin, I should say, and he said, for me, time is nothing. And it's hard to convey exactly how I felt in that moment and how that moment was, because I got just chills of just how he said it and how I understood it and how terrifying that kind of is, right? But the point is this, right? Why should we be like this verse, right? This saintly sage that sees with equal vision, who observes good and bad work as the same, those speaking improperly. Why should we be like this? Well, one reason is because it's not permanent, right? It's all just transient. So why should I be attached? Why should I perceive something as good and bad if I have the knowledge of the Lord and his aspect of time, right? If we can really understand the impermanence of this body, this life, this world itself, even the universe, right? Even Brahma, who is so, his age is incomprehensible. We don't have to be afraid, actually. Fear and judgment, all of these things only arise when our vision is limited, when we don't see things clearly, and we don't understand, and we don't also take time to learn, right? And really try as best as we can when over and over and over again in every canto is repeated again and again the same things. Don't be attached. It's not that which is permanent and real. And so, in the same way that Guruji reminds us again and again and again and again, I'm also trying to remind myself as much as possible, in the small things. When something happens that upsets me, when something happens that makes me feel good, doesn't always have to be a big whatever. It's not like I'm, like one of these verses says that I'm being attacked by animals and in that moment I'm calm and equal, although that would be great. It's the small things when whatever it is, somebody gets in my way, or I run out of money on my cash card and I can't buy a croissant at the Bhajan Cafe. Instead of, this is a bad thing, or somebody buys me a croissant at the Bhajan Cafe, this is a good thing. Just accept, and try and remember as much as possible. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Parato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho.
Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Ito Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Bahir Narasimho Hridaye Narasimho.
Nrsimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye.
Nrsimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye.
Nrsimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye.
Nrsimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye.
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamaguta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavatirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamaguta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Jagadisha Hare Jayo Jagadisha Hare
Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamaguta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Kara Kamalavare Nakamaguta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Narasimhadev 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 Jai Narasimhadev 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 Jai Narasimhadev Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev Sri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Sri Vishwananda Gurudev Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Yatendraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me
Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangala Me
Praparti Dalmai Karataya Mangala Mangala Me
Prapati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me
Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me
Tridandatari Godakrachaya Mangala Mangala Me
Tridandatari Godakrachaya Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Range Sakenkaya Rataya Mangala Mangala Me
Range Sakenkaya Rataya Mangala Mangala Me
Mananataya Darine Daraya Mangala Mangala Me
Mananataya Darine Daraya Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me
Mangala Mangala Me Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Jai Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon ke Sankata Dasa Janon ke Sankata Sharame Gura Kare Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Jo jave phala pave Dukha vinase manaka Swami dukha vinase manaka Sukha sampati gara ave Sukha sampati gara ave Kashtamite tanaka Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita Tuma Mere Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Swami Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Tuma Bina Aura Naduja Tuma Bina Aura Naduja Asa Karume Kisaki Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuma Antarayani Swami Tuma Antarayani Para Brahma Parameshwara Para Brahma Parameshwara Tuma Sabake Swami Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tuma Karuna Ke Sagar Tuma Palana Karata Swami Tuma Palana Karata Main Sevaka Tuma Swami Main Sevaka Tuma Swami Kripa Karo Bharata Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tuma Eka Agochara Sabake Pranapati Swami Sabake Pranapati Kisa Vini Vinam Dayamaya Kisa Vini Vinam Kripamaya Tuma Kome Kumati Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Dina Bandhu Dukha Harta Tumara Shaka Mere Swami Tumara Shaka Mere
Karuna hata badhao, Karuna hata badhao, Sharana pada tere. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Vishaya Vikara Mitao, Paparo Deva, Sami Paparo Deva, Shraddha Bhakti Badhao, Shraddha Prema Badhao, Santana Ki Seva. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Dana mana dana sabha hai tera, Swami sabha kuch hai tera, Swami sabha kuch hai tera. Tera tujhko arpan, tera tujhko arpan, kya lage mera. Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Bhaktajano ke sankata, sajanon ke sankata, kshana mein dura kare. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. Man chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji. Man chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji. Chakra rakho, chakra rakho, chakra rakho ji. Chakra rakho, chakra rakho, chakra rakho ji. Mane chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji. Shama mane chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji. Govinda mane chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji. Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji, Girdhari Lala chakra rakho ji. Tvameva mata shapita tvameva, Tvameva bandhusya sakha tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Govinda. Asato ma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om.
Prem se bolo Lakshmi Narayana Bhagavan ki Jai. Prem se bolo Sri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Bhagavan ki Jai. Prem se bolo Shri Hare Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai. Prem se bolo Mahavatara Kriya Baba ji ki Jai. Prem se bolo Shri Acharya ki Jai. Prem se bolo
Satgurudeva Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Om Klim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Janavadabhaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakarma Mantra Yantra Tantra Oshadashta Shastrani Samara Samara Mijor Mochaya Mochaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Giti Chvala Prataya Savadik Shumaham Pat Parashmaye Paramramane Paramjyotishe Swaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om.
Jai Jai
Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Shyam Venkatamana Govinda
Govinda.
Gopika Jeevnasmaram Govinda
Govinda.
Bhaktavatsala Govinda
Govinda.
Kundaliki Varade
Hare Krishna.
Ekanath Namde
Tukaram.
Padarinath Maharaj Maharaj ki Jai, Rukmini Maharani ki Jai, Samasta Bhakta Mandali ki Jai, Halvaran Purvanar Thiruvai Gale Shanana.